If your brand is powerful, the cost per lead is low. Heck, man, you got a brand that's awesome. You don't need to do SEO. You don't need to run any ads. They just come to you. I think those who adapt will survive. That either you adapt or you die, right? We believe that if you don't have a brand, a strong brand, everything else you do fail. That's your brand. Your brand is your product or your services, right? And the people and the company. All these encompassing things is part of the definition of the brand. And if that information is valuable, it's quality over quantity. And if you don't have that quality, then it doesn't matter. AI, SEO, it's just, you're not going to get anywhere.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show E-Coffee with Experts. This is your host Ranmay here. And today we have Vincent Lee, who is the CEO of INFINI Marketing with us. Hey Vincent, how's it going?
Doing good, man. How you doing? Thanks for
All
having
good,
me.
yeah. Lovely. Pleasure to host you here. So Vincent, before we take this any forward, why don't you talk us through your journey a bit, how it all started, and also about INFINI Marketing, your agency, what you guys do, your core offerings, and we're going to take it off from there.
Yeah, so I started out as a graphic designer, and throughout my life, I love marketing and I love art, and I also had some background in web design. I was actually thinking about becoming a programmer at that time, but I saw this movie called Office Space, and I was like, oh man, if you become a computer programmer, you're gonna sit inside of a cubicle, and so I did not want to be sitting in a cubicle. I was like, man, I'm gonna switch over, but I like computers, I like artwork, and I love playing video games, and I built my own computers. But I was like, man, I'm just going to do graphic design because, I get to be more creative instead of being rigid, put inside of a box kind of situation. So my career took off. I became a director of marketing anyways, for several corporations as I grew up, got older, get some experience. So that's when I did SEO, web design, digital marketing, brand building, and I was using all the CMS platform, WordPress, Joomla. So you end up like having this wide area of abilities and skill working with various businesses, right? And, one point I grew this dental practice from like $5 million to $50 million in about 2 to 3 years. And they basically presented me an opportunity like, hey, Vincent, like, I think you should start your own company. And I was like, I really did not want to be a business owner because of all the responsibility. I just want to collect a paycheck and just kind of like, hey, help my company grow and I'll increase my salary, that kind of situation. But life just take its own direction and I can't really say no to it. And considering you get an opportunity to start a business where everything is quote unquote, all the risk is covered, I'm like, why not? So we did, and that's Coverage Digital. And then eventually we started with all the medical, that's because it's dental, and we got all the optometry, dental and optometry and medical practices. But then like, hey, we could expand to other areas. So we ended up changing ownership and have a different partnership to go into INFINI Marketing. And that's when INFINI Marketing started. So yeah, that's kind of like how that was about 8 years ago. And today we have generated over $500 million worth of revenue for all our clients combined. We have grown a business from $1 million to $20 million, like a roofing company, in less than 8 years. In fact, they broke $10 million in less than 5 years. But that was like literally the first 4 or 5 years of our business. Like today, we had like a business, like landscaping company, start $500,000. They projected $3.5 million within a year and a half. Good exponential growth. We also had a company from $0 all the way to $500,000 in less than a year on a very low revenue. What do you call it? Dollar revenue per project, low revenue per project. Right. So yeah, that's what we have accomplished. And today we are in Houston, Texas. We serve clients all across the United States. Our main services are branding, web design, search engine optimization, and advertising for lead generation. So we're big into the branding identity, and we're also big in measuring results and return on investment. I would say those are two main offerings in terms of how we successfully grow our clients' businesses.
Very nice. And, pivoting towards being, not really kind of restricting yourself to a particular niche and kind of going out, full throttle after the blue ocean out there in the sense that targeting different segments, different industries. How difficult was it initially? And from a team perspective, you would have specialists in the healthcare niche and then kind of, getting projects from all over. How challenging was it?
Well, for me, it wasn't challenging at all because one of my experiences, I used to work for a web design agency and we had over 300 types of clients in multiple industries. So I've worked with so many industries even prior, even my own personal background. I was like restaurant, I was in construction, I was in medical, I was in electronics manufacturing. I sell products on eBay, Best Buy, B&H Photo, Sky Mall. If you guys remember Sky Mall, and we did all the newsletters. But that was like some of the companies I work with is international. So I have like a lot of flexibility of experience. So when we're moving for our own clients, it's relatively easy in identifying, hey, what is the unique selling proposition of a roofing company or HVAC or any other business? Because every business has their brand. And if you understand branding, that branding applies to every industry as long as you understand the ideal customer profile. So when you understand those two components and it matches up and it align, boom, your marketing takes off.
Absolutely. And you emphasize on a brand first strategy across clients, right? So how do you convert that brand first mindset into a repeatable operational system inside your agency?
Well, we believe that if you don't have a brand, a strong brand, everything else you do fails. Because the whole
True.
idea is that, it's your main product offering, your own services, you're providing a solution, you're providing a need, right? And here's the thing, that's your brand. Your brand is your product or your services, right? And the people and the company. All these encompassing things is part of the definition of the brand. And if people don't believe anything that you say, you claim, you publish, you wrote, you show, you display, you don't have a good brand power and everything's going to fail after that. You run ads, you don't get any clicks, no engagement. People don't visit the website. They don't get the complete picture. They don't understand the brand. They're not going to take any action to contact you, buy from you. That's part of the decision making process.
And talking about the overall SEO, let's say marketing strategy from ranking on AI and overviews and different LLMs out there. What are some hacks that you have developed which have actually helped your client rank on different LLMs out there?
I mean, hacks are quick, easy things. And typically those are small things that people miss. And it's like, oh, there's a quick way of doing this. The thing about marketing is I typically believe in a tried and true manner. And that's just providing good content, good information, right? That people can believe. And if
Yeah.
that information is valuable, it's quality over quantity. That's one thing I would say. And hack is a matter of speed. And sometimes that it's more of an attribute of quantity instead of quality. And if you don't have that quality, then it doesn't matter. AI, SEO, it's just you're not gonna get anywhere. Because let's say you do put a hack and you get to number one on SEO, but they don't believe it. What's the point? Like they go to see, oh, you're number one on the website. They click on it, they visit the website full of spam, full of ads. You're the SEO king. Congratulations. But no action, nothing taken. You think your client's
Yeah.
gonna be happy? I don't think the client's gonna be happy. Right. For me, it's just all about trying and true. Great content creates great brand, and that's what's going to win you more business.
Absolutely. And since you spoke about the acquisition part of it, as paid acquisition costs actually are rising, right? How are
Yes.
you rebalancing organic brand building investments for long term ROI? Since you mentioned about important creating a brand is.
Yeah. So we're talking about brand, right? And so this whole thing is brand first always. And then like customer acquisition cost or cost per lead, or cost per click, or even SEO optimization costs. You guys can pay the highest dollar amount just to kind of, brute force it. Just throw it, big budget, get a lot of impression, right? However, the cost per lead could be still high. The cost per customer acquisition could still be high. And that's all determined by the messaging, and the messaging determined by the brand. So it still goes back to the brand. Of course, the most obvious thing is like the wrong demographic, the wrong ideal customer profile, right? But we're all experts here. You guys always hear is like, oh, do you have the right targeting? Do you have the right limit? Do you have the right, age group? Are you showing the right time, the right places? Like know where your customers at? Da, da, da. Sure, right? But that's given, that's standard, that's par for the course. But the
Mhm.
question is like, if you did everything right and still doesn't work, then you got to consider your brand. So that's typically for me. If your brand is powerful, the cost per lead is low. Heck, man, you got a brand that's awesome. You don't need to do SEO. You don't need to run any ads. They just come to you. What's the cost per lead then? Zero. Word of mouth referral is zero, right? So for me,
Absolutely, 100%.
yep, it's so simple.
And in talking about the recent shift in the digital marketing space. So what do you feel as is that one marketing tactic, which was there for years, but actually is no longer, kind of working in 2025, and you feel that, it's no more a metric now?
So, which marketing strategy is not as effective today? Is that kind of like
Yes.
the question? I think when they say marketing is not effective, it may be the lack of tracking the performance of that strategy. Because some strategy is just difficult to measure. And so, if you can measure it effectively, you might see that there's actually progress being made, right? And I think that's really the key differentiating factor. How well do we actually know about that strategy, whether it works or not? And there's a silly example, there's people that's out there handing out flyers in the middle of the street, or at least on flyers, there might be some way of tracking it, whether it's a QR code, a phone number, or a hit from a website. And there's ways for you to kind of put your GTM through all these things and the URL, the QR code, and all kind of stuff to kind of track those things. But what if you just kind of like sitting there in front of a booth kind of situation, like a pop up, and you're just talking to people and you're sharing that verbally, kind of like, a virtual sales, like kind of like an in-person word of mouth, kind of like a street side preacher, like somebody is standing on the side of the street, like talking about the Bible and yelling at people like, hey, the end is near kind of situation, right? Or sharing the good news. You don't really know. Is it effective? Is it not? But we can't measure that. Does that mean the strategy doesn't work? But you hear stories all the time. Oh man, I saw it one time. Da, 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 da. You always see this one time. Oh, this one time. And then because that one time we get energized, like, oh, let's go use the strategy because this one time generated $10,000. But then like, what is the probability of that? You got no math, we won't know that. And that's where the problem is. I think it's more so instead of assuming that something doesn't work, I think it's best to try it and measure it.
Absolutely. And talking about 2026, what is your boldest bet on where marketing is heading with 2026 now?
Then, I know AI is new, but I feel like it's nothing new under the sun. And people always go, oh, what are going to do? Da, da, da. I think there's going to be some shift here and there, but I think those who adapt will survive. That's just kind of like how it goes. Either you adapt or you die, right? And so what's a tried and true thing? So my thing is, I'm quite simple, man. There's all these new things. All the new things is experimental to me. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna test. I'm not gonna be like, oh, AI's new thing. Let's go all on. The only thing about AI, I know that you're probably gonna ask about it. It's like there's there's increase of quantity, but the quality doesn't necessarily increase as high as we think it is. Yes, our effort is a lot less, but the quality doesn't necessarily increase it that high. Okay. And I think the reason is the authenticity part, which goes back. What is people looking for? Right. All these tools that you're talking, it's just a delivery mechanism. It's just a way to distribute information. What matters is the quality of the information. So going back, it's still the brand. Just focus on that. That's still the number one thing, you know. I think most people that even when I fail in the project, yes, I want to blame myself for all the failure, but sometimes like the business that we work with, they don't always have a good brand. What's worse is this. I build a good brand and then to execute the work, they don't even follow through with their brand. That's even worse, right? It's like, hey, I'm the best. And then I present my client's brand as the best, and we do all these things. And then when the client enjoys the food, they're like, oh, it's not as good as it is.
Yeah,
That's misalignment, and that's not going to create longevity. And when that fails, then what happens?
absolutely. Give us your top three AI tools. I mean, in terms of what you're using these days.
Tools, good brand, good website, good brand awareness strategy. Brand awareness divided into advertising or organic. Yeah.
Now, I was asking the top three AI tools that you're making the best use of at your agency.
We're using all of them because there's a lot of experimentation going on. And trying to say which is top three, I'm just gonna say it's probably like just the informational for research right now. It's really great, and that's more reliable. And because the old way of accessing information is more complicated. So yeah, Chat GPT, Grok. I used both those things. I use Gemini. Those are the top three that I'm currently using for this information. And then everything else is more specialized, like go high level. And, we use that. And there's a few more tools for different things. I know that we're using it, and my team is just, hey, can we try this? Can we try it? Like, yeah, we're trying all kinds of things.
Absolutely. Any client that you've ever said no to, Vincent, for any particular reason?
Any clients that I say no to,
Yeah. Or you'd have fired any client for any.
I would say not now or not yet.
Okay.
We typically want to work with clients that is like over $1 million and up in revenue. And we do have clients that startup. And so at those level clients, we typically just give them like, hey, this is like, this is this is a tool on your belt that you need to have for now. And then when you get to this level, then we can do other things, right? Because I know that you need a website and I know you need to do all these things, but with all the AI contents and all these things you're building, you paying for all these things, it just gets buried and you won't show up organically. The barrier to entry to show up on the internet organically is so high that the word of mouth is more effective. And so when you have a business and when you're first starting out, that's probably like the most important thing business owners need to understand. Like, hey man, don't over invest on the internet as much as you think, because there's all these exciting things, but what people don't say is very expensive and very competitive. And so the cost is high, and it's about volume in the beginning because you haven't established the quality.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Great, yeah, Vincent. It has been a wonderful conversation. But before I let you go, I would like to play a quick rapid fire if you're game for it.
Sure. Let's try it.
All right, your last Google search.
My last Google search, I actually use Gronk, so I'll just cheat a little bit on the Gronk side. Working out, I've been looking at working out recently. I was looking at my bench press and howing out. You know, I'm over 40, so I'm like I'm feeling a little bit weak, and I was like, oh man, I need to get my strength back. So I've been bench pressing. So that's what I've been.
Your celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush? Oh man, Adam Levine from Maroon 5. That's the first thing that came up. Is like, because he had great music. I haven't been checking him out recently, but that's the only guy that if I have a celebrity crush, I just keep on saying Adam.
All right. What did you do with the first paycheck, Vincent? First paycheck of your life.
What did I do? I was in high school. I worked at Chick-fil-A. What did I do? I don't remember at all. Man, it's been so long. I don't.
All right. Where do we find Vincent on Friday evenings after office or after work?
Friday evenings after office, I sometimes I do networking. So I typically have my happy hours either Friday or Thursdays. I'll be doing one of those things. Yeah.
All righty, perfect. You have been a sport. We'll not grill you any further. But yeah, Vincent, thank you so much for taking our time to do this with us. And for our audiences, if they want to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Oh, you can contact me. Send me an email at Vince@INFINI Marketing. That's the best way to reach out to me. And
Okay.
also, I have a TikTok channel. You can look up at my email address on TikTok. The handle is Mark of Success. So it's a brand new channel. It's a channel about me just sharing about kind of like similar conversation about my thoughts on marketing and also my journey as a CEO, as a leader, helping other businesses grow, and also sharing my experience growing my own company and my challenges running my organization. To give you a quick thing, like right now, we're just dealing with change of management. We're promoting a lot of people into middle management. So we kind of have like a two-tier thing. And there's some leadership training, a lot of leadership steps that you need to take and implementing systems like similar to EOS and things like that. So yeah, follow me on TikTok.
All right. Very nice. Great. Yeah. Thank you, Vincent. I mean, this has been a great conversation, like I said, and I'm sure our audience would have loved the insights you shared today. Thanks. Yeah. Cheers, man.
Thank you, Ranmay. Appreciate it.